Hey, what's going on, guys? So I have just got back from SEGE 2023. If you've been watching my channel, you saw that I just put up my panel a little bit ago. I have 2 more videos for you though, and I'm gonna make them a little bit more rapid than normal. That's why you're getting one today. And that is, I had some really awesome pre-convention game hunting, and then also the convention itself. So right now, this is a video for some awesome game hunting that I got to do in Greenville, South Carolina before the convention. Hopefully you'll like what you see, because some of the stores I went to were super duper dope. So without further ado, check these places out. So the first place we actually ended up going to is a place called Upstate Games. This place, I actually know these guys from the convention. I've seen them there every year, and man, their store does not disappoint. I mean, obviously, right when you walk in, they have the big case. You know, you love to see the big case of the rare games, but they have all sorts of stuff. They have collector's editions. They have limited run games. I don't know if they're an official distributor or if they just buy some and resell them. I never actually asked them about that, but they had quite a good selection. So, you know, that might be an official partnership, maybe not. But either way, I mean, the stuff they have here is amazing, to say the least. Obviously, all sorts of inbox stuff in the case, really good rare things, a lot of collector's editions, a lot of some graded stuff. You know me, I'm kind of avoiding graded stuff, but it seems like everyone has some left over from that point in time. I don't know if these guys are actively getting stuff graded or not, but they didn't have much, so you know, I'll at least give them that. But I mean, the store itself, massive. Of course, they have their racks where you'd have your, you know, quote unquote common games. But I will say that a lot of these common games are not cheap. I mean, you go to a lot of stores and you go to like, hey, here's a bunch of you know, Maddens and what have you like that. But here I noticed some really, really good stuff. I mean, it wasn't just like, it was worth looking through, I guess. But then you have all these shelves. Now, these are all over the store, and they have complete in-box consoles, full console kits, all sorts of stuff. One thing, though, I will say is this store, and you know, I'll probably recap this in the end later on, but this store, just like every place I went to on this trip, of course, was getting ready for the big convention. So a lot of their stuff is going to be packed up or in like display cases, because they are going to be taking it from their store straight to the convention. That's why, like, if you look right there, there's like a big box of a whole bunch of games that are obviously packed up. It's because they're getting ready to get out there and have a good time with all of us. But they had some really cool limited edition stuff that I'd never seen before, like Mario themed cars. All this Zelda stuff was cool. Some of it newer, some of it older. I mean, they had quite a variety. This store was really, really, really neat. Over here they have, you know, more 360 and Xbox stuff, along with some rare consoles a little bit further on. But I mean, they have quite a variety of 360, which right now 360 collecting is pretty good. But you can see over here they had some kind of more rare stuff in the case, stuff that was complete in box, or maybe worth a little bit more than the average price. And like I said, they're packing up some rare stuff to take to the convention, including a Donkey Kong 64 controller, which was really cool to see. But I mean, they just have such a selection. I mean, we ended up actually making a few purchases here, and I will say, kind of my rule of thumb is to not make any purchases before a convention, because you don't want to, like, you know, get anything like too early. But they just had some great stuff here, and you know, if it was here and they had the register running, it's like you might as well run for it. But also beyond all of that stuff, they have a whole area of loose games, games that don't have cases or manuals or what have you, but also a lot of like comic books and cards and things. That's stuff that I don't really have a big knowledge on as far as cards. And you know, they had some strategy guides and stuff, but they had, you know, your average stuff that you'd like to see kind of in a nerdy store, some Gundam models and stuff like that. But you know, they did do a good job of separating everything as far as like by console. You know, all your PlayStation stuff is here, all your Xbox stuff is here. Very easy store to navigate. And like I said before, there's just a lot of really, really cool stuff that you can see all over this store. A lot of rare things. Definitely worth your time, worth checking out. But yo, right around the corner was Toy Federation, and dude, this place is off the chain, man. I'm like not the biggest toy guy, but if you're into toys, you need to come here. And in fact, some of my fellow YouTube friends came here and filmed probably a lot more than I did, and definitely did pickups. I did not buy anything. There was one thing I did kind of want, and that's a base.exe from the Battle Network games. It was a figure. They had a fair price on it, but when I looked at it, it looked like someone had kind of rubbed part of the top, so it was a little bit scuffed. And you know, if I... Not that it wasn't worth it, but like for the price of vintage toys, like, you know, it's like I kind of want it to be a little bit, you know, like perfect, and this one wasn't. And it's easier with video games for me to justify. I'm rambling right now. This stuff is cool though, right? I mean, like, dude, they had everything. They had super vintage toys, and then they had, you know, stuff like from the 90s, you know, from the 80s, from everything, you know, huge play sets, all sorts of stuff. I remember at one point they actually had some really neat stuff from what do you call it? The Warriors of Virtue. It's like a movie I watched when I was a kid. I mean, it's like 90 something or other. But I mean, they got turtles. They got turtles. They had Gundam. They had a bunch of anime stuff. They had everything you can think of. They had here. I mean, Voltron, Star Wars, just freaking everything. So many like comic book characters, Transformers, Beast Wars. You know, I feel like I've already said Power Rangers, but I'm gonna say it again because like they have Power Rangers all over the place. This store is nuts. I mean, it is just straight up crazy. You know, like I said, I'm not like the biggest toy guy, but even I could admire like how cool this place was, you know. And nothing besides that one base figure, nothing really jumped out to me as something like I need to drop money on right here and now. Mainly, like I said, because I'm rolling up to the convention. I knew I'm gonna find some crazy stuff, which I definitely did. But I wanted to show this place off because it is worth your time, and it's actually right around the corner in the same actual shopping plaza as that last game store. So it's like you can kind of do it 2 for 1. You know, walk into the game store, walk around to Toy Federation, or vice versa. But you'll definitely, between the 2 stores, like, you're gonna buy something. There's gonna be something you're gonna want for sure. I mean, this place alone was really, really cool. So cool, in fact, that actually I took like 7 minutes of footage. So I'm actually going to kind of shut up now because I can only talk so much, and just kind of show you the store. I'm just going to show you some footage of all the stuff. So kick back, relax, pop some popcorn, fast forward if you don't like toys to the next thing, or whatever, man. But either way, check this place out because it is worth checking out. Last but not least, literally down the road, not even 5 minutes, is the video game Cavern. This place kind of reminds me of like a game store I'm more used to seeing. Not too big, like the last place was a really good size, but this place is not too big, not too small. They had a great variety of recent games, of new games, old games, a little bit of everything. Of course, they had a nice case as per usual, with rare stuff in it. Once again, and I'm gonna probably say this now for the third time, and I'm sure I'll say it a fourth time, a lot of their stuff was packed up and already being set up at the convention. So really, my video, I can almost say, doesn't do this place justice, which is crazy, right? Because you're watching it right now, and there's a lot to see. So the fact that it's even better than what you're seeing is pretty damn cool. They have some neat displays and stuff up on the upper shelves. You know, like all game stores like to have, you know, posters and things. And it's not specific to this place. It's really almost any game store. But one thing that always kind of bums me out is a lot of those times you see some really cool displays or posters, and of course they're not for sale because, you know, the whole point of them is to decorate the store so it looks neat. So, you know, it's same here, you know, kind of par for the course, but they had some cool stuff. They had some other neat stuff you don't see everywhere, like plushies and things, you know, some cool rugs, like indoor rugs, to get into your house. But, you know, once again, hey, this is a cool game store. It's not even 5 minutes away from those last two places. But this is all the game hunting that I really did before the convention. Mainly because, you know, after going to this store, kind of had the realization that, you know, most of these stores have obviously already taken their good stuff to the convention hall. So it's like, well, you know, is there really much of a point to game hunting when all the good stuff is is waiting for me tomorrow? So on that note, I'll leave you with a little bit more B-roll footage of this store because it's really cool. It's worth looking at. But other than that, I mean, that was pretty much the pre-game adventures for before Siege. But yeah, man, I hope you guys really like what you saw. All three of these stores worth a visit if you're in the Greenville area of South Carolina, because man, they got some great stuff, really great people working there, really cool folks, and yeah, definitely worth your time. So what'd you think, man? Like I said, those places really cool, but they did want me to say specifically that all of those stores, in fact, said this, that, you know, they were a little bit sparse, the more than normal, because of course they're bringing everything to the convention. So you're gonna see some way cool stuff in that video. So please stick around, stay tuned, because that is the next video that will be coming up. But you know, hey, tell me what you guys think. If you guys live in the Greenville area, are those some stores you frequent, or maybe did you see something you like from what I just showed you? I'd love to know in the comments down below. And that's going to do it for us today, guys. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you haven't, please do. That would be awesome. But as always, my friends, take it easy.